Hello, my name's Tina McDonald. Thanks for joining me today. Today's counselling conversation is going to have a look at compassion and forgiveness and the kind of general concept around them. In counselling, they both kind of run continuously in the background and in the work that's often undertaken. So compassion for self, compassion for others, and forgiveness, a big word, particularly when dealing with trauma and abuse. Forgiveness and acceptance are the kind of the dual sides of the same thing. When you're looking at your sense of a meaningful life, it's often about recognising yourself as a valuable entity within it. Your mind is the essential aspect of what we think of ourselves when we say the word I. Forgiveness and acceptance of others who've hurt us, and also of ourselves if we've hurt ourselves or we've hurt others, including hurting yourself. That's the important one to remember, because often that just goes part and parcel, that negative inner critic, that knocking yourself, hurting yourself, continuing the abuse from the past by a new pattern of abuse moving forward. Contentment, part of the meaningful life scenario. Being content is more than just having things. I know things help, and I know financially that is part of being content if you're not constantly worrying about the bills and worrying how you're going to manage each month. But sitting with the now, trying to have a look at what is happening in your mind, how you're dealing with the stresses of things and the worries. Because when you have a content mind, a happy mind, it helps a healthy body. It doesn't solve everything, but it definitely helps a healthy body if you have a happier mind. Back to the video that we did when we looked at the chemicals that count. All of those chemicals influencing your body have an impact on your body. And so a happy mind has an impact on your body. Acknowledging our own personal suffering in order to extend our compassion to ourselves. That's a real stumbling block, isn't it? Acknowledging that actually we suffer and that our suffering counts. That it's not always about others. That sometimes we need to get it right for us because of the impact it has on the whole of us. So liberate yourself from the confines of the place that you have put yourself in your mind. We all have choices. Yes, they are often dictated by circumstance and often through force by others. But when we liberate our mind, as we have seen people who have survived terrible, terrible things, it's often because their mindset has been about acceptance and insightfulness about how they process things themselves. You cannot control the judgment of others, but you can look at the content of judgment and see if you can make it look very different from a place of forgiveness and compassion. Compassion is the key to judgment, because if you have embraced some compassion for yourself, then your judgment will feel different. So the definition of compassion is to recognise and empathise and move towards eliminating the suffering of others. The definition of forgiveness is a deliberate decision to release resentment or vengeance. Carrying that hurt, carrying that pain, that stress, that anger from what somebody else has done, if you can release that, you release the impact it has upon yourself. definition of acceptance, let's just pop that in there as well, is recognising and processing a situation without attempting to change it, which is why when you're looking back in a traumatic situation with your counsellor, it's often important to try and look at the aspect of acceptance, because you cannot change what has been done. You can only find forgiveness and compassion and work on that with yourself to be kinder to yourself, so you're not constantly still battering yourself with what somebody else did in the past and holding on to that as anger, vengeance, in order to think, is that helpful for me? If I look at it from a place of I cannot change it, I might not like it. It's not about liking, but it's about using compassion and forgiveness in order to make a meaningful life recognisable, because you are the valuable entity that it's all about. And working with your mind and working with a counsellor can help take all of that off how the body then is dealing with it. Food for thought. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for your time. As always, please like, thumbs up, messages, subscribe. Look on the Instagram daily update and also on Facebook. Take care, and I hope to work with you at some point online. Take care. Bye-bye.